One night at the Palace Hotel. Warm up. Jeff has to warm up for this. It's the night before the Palace Hotel opens, and the entire city is abuzz with what everyone is calling a throwback to the Gilded Age. Everyone, that is, except Consuelo de la Real. Faced with a destiny picked out for her and a dream she just can't forget, she confronts the choices she has made and the man she was forced to reject. When the past comes crashing into the present, will she listen to her duty or give in to the urging of her heart?
One Night at the Palace Hotel.
By Bianca Mori. The line of hot dogs sneaked down the residential block in a pleasant but decidedly more working-class part of the city than the Lincoln Park neighborhood Consuelo lived in. She stamped her feet in the chill fall air. The sidewalk cold seeped into her fashionable but seasonally inappropriate flat boots. But she also stamped an annoyance at traveling all this way for hot dogs. Gourmet Zagat-rated hot dogs, but still, blame her homesickness for the whole thing. She'd woken up in the middle of the night in a panic, tears streaming down her cheeks. She'd been in the US for 6 weeks and had gone through a roller coaster of emotions, something akin to the stages of grief she'd learned in freshman psych, but what exactly her emotional stages were signifying, she would not know or understand. 6 weeks ago, she was excited and giddy as she watched Manila recede from her airplane window. After a week in Chicago, she felt brave and resigned, like a soldier facing the great unknown. Then, the quiet in her small, bare apartment made her anxious. Then she stepped into her first class and felt lost and out of place. And now she had progressed into a full-on black depression. As soon as the sobs calmed, she went online to speak with her best friend.
I want to go home. This is all a big mistake.
She wailed. The minute Cora's delicate features filled the tablet screen. By the time the call ended an hour later, Cora had sufficiently calmed her down and bucked her up with typical bluntness, reminding her that wasn't this the plan all along? To get away from stifling parents and monumental expectations? Wasn't this why she went AWOL from school in Manila and psyched her parents out by lazing around for a year until they agreed to college abroad? What was all the emotional blackmail and conniving and ingratiating the wealthy spinster graduate for, if not for this? Cora's sleep-deprived scowl deepened.
How often have you been out of the apartment, Con, except for classes and groceries? There was an art institute last month. Jeez, Con, no wonder you're going crazy. Get out of your place. Get out of your head. Didn't we make a list of all the places you wanted to visit? Yeah. So get off Skype and out the door, loser.
So Consuelo brushed up the list, plotted an itinerary, downloaded directions, put on a coat and boots, and did exactly what Cora said. The first place on the list was famous hot dogs, of which Anthony Bourdain gushed so exuberantly. But she did not realize it was such a long-ass bus ride away. 22 bus stops, she counted. Why did American cities have to be so gigantic? Why couldn't they be sensibly manageable, like Asian cities, like Singapore or Hong Kong, or Manila for that matter, where you could stand on a footbridge in Makati and spit on Pasay? She also did not expect the square red brick restaurant, sausage superstore, would be as popular as she had been warned. The store was still closed, yet already there were probably 30 people lined up before her. She stamped her feet again and groaned. "Whoa there," said a male voice behind her. Consuelo ignored it, quickly learning that if you honestly answered the Midwesterner's reflexive, "How you doing today?" greeting, you would get sucked into a long, uncomfortable small talk situation. It's better to be the unfriendly, fresh off the boat who smiled mysteriously and then averted her eyes instead of yakking with people you didn't actually want to talk to. "You might break a toe if you keep doing that," said a voice. She let out an irritated huff in response. "That's a pity," the voice pronounced. Pretty, but rude. There was something so smug and self-satisfied about the voice and the way it announced things like it was the authority on everything that pierced through Consuelo's self-imposed remoteness, making her turn around and confront the speaker, and promptly lose the ability to speak for a few moments. The accent, pitch, and volume of the voice had her preparing for a blue-eyed blonde jock with a beefy neck and chapped windburned cheeks. She did not expect a tall Asian with a swimmer's body that perfectly filled in a beat-up leather jacket. He also had piercing brown eyes and a sardonic, self-possessed smile. Of course, he had to be just her type. "Hi, I'm Sam," he said, taking advantage of her shock to thrust a hand to introduce himself. "I take it you're not a regular?"
What makes you say that?
She did not take the offered palm. He put it back into his pocket without missing a beat. "The look of annoyance. If you come here often, you know what to expect. You see anyone else complaining?" She looked at the pleasant faces around her and the buzz of good-natured small talk and sighed.
Those hot dogs better be fucking good.
He laughed. "So fucking good you want to take them behind the middle school and get them pregnant." She put down a smile. "Come on, that was a good line, yeah?"
Only because you stole it from 30 Rock.
He said tartly. His laugh was unperturbed. "So what do they call you then, gorgeous?" Was this guy for real?
Excuse me?
"What's your name?" She raised an eyebrow, but this Sam guy didn't even flinch. It took her a while to get it. In the Philippines, her Spanish features and carefully practiced bitch face put many idiots in their place. Even her social equals had known to approach her carefully. This uncouth American-raised dude bro obviously did not know he was being given a cue to go away. Weirdly, Consuelo found it refreshing.
Consuelo.
She finally answered. "Consuelo," he repeated.
For God's sake, you're butchering it.
"It's your name. It's too fucking long."
It's not my fault if you can't pronounce it for shit.
He laughs again, easily and unselfconsciously. "Help a guy out. What's your nickname?" The rosebud lips pursed.
Con.
He shook his head. "Nah, that's not right. Con? Like a scam?" "Gorgeous, you deserve better than that. I'll call you Sue." A cheer from the front of the line and a sudden buzz of excitement told her that the restaurant had finally opened.
You won't be calling me anything.
She replied. "We'll see about that," he said, flashing another self-assured grin. Consuelo turned her back on him, suppressing a thrill in her veins. She could feel his eyes on her as the line inched ahead, a gaze hovering over her body. She should have been irritated, but she was finding it hard to summon the feeling. The line stopped by the window. Pretending to inspect the posters and flyers for roller derby matches and tattoo parlors, she snuck a peek at Sam's reflection. He smiled broadly when he met her glance. "You're Filipino, right?" he asked. Before she could answer, he explained, "It's the accent and the puppy poat thing." Puppy poat. "You were just checking me out." He went, "Ah, there it is. There's the smile I was looking for." She rolled her eyes.
So you're Pinoy too.
"Yeah, well, born there, moved here when I was little. You?"
Studying.
"Oh, where?"
DePaul.
"Nice."
Where do you study?
He didn't look much older than she was. No, I'm taking over my dad's business," he said casually. At the look on her face, he added, "I'm taking a few business courses, accounting, stuff like that. Everything else I'm learning on the job." They finally entered the red brick building. Consuelo stood dumbstruck at the huge primary colored menu in front of her, the choices superimposed on the hot dog-shaped decals. You should decide now before you get to the register," said Sam helpfully. The problem was that, there were so many different versions of the hot dog sandwich to get, and so little stomach space. Suddenly she was aware of how hungry she was, and she hadn't had breakfast yet. Should she get something from the regular menu, where the sandwiches were named for people, like the Roquel Welsh andouille sausage, or one of the specials, like the boudin blanc with fig mustard, or double creme brie cheese and pâté de champagne, or it sounded promising, or they were offering the same sandwich that Anthony Bourdain had on his show.
I'll have the foie gras sausage.
She told the bespectacled guy behind the register. "How about some duck fat fries? We only serve them on Fridays and Saturdays." Consuelo hesitated. She didn't know if she could finish them. But she did have to stretch her allowance until her grandaunt's next deposit. So that's when Sam stepped in. Sure, we'll have that. And add a Virgil Solozzo too,"
Hey, don't.
said Consuelo. "It's my treat." He paid for the order. got their number, and led her to the only vacant table in the place. Tiny, with 2 chairs shoved against the wall, declaring a timeline called Critical Links, the History of Encased Meats. This way, you have to sit with me.
You're persistent. Did anyone ever tell you that?
Some, he smiled, settling beside her. The place was crowded and noisy, so he leaned close to be heard. Consuelo could smell his faint soap and water scent, study the fine lashes framing his almond eyes, and ponder the shape of his expressive mouth. "So what's your story, Sue?" he said, his knees brushing up against her.
My story?
"Yeah, you look European, but you're Pinoy. You walk around like a duchess, but you cuss like a schoolgirl." He winced and tried on an apologetic smile. "Geez, that sounded like a Bon Jovi song."
A schoolgirl.
A naughty gleam appeared in his eyes. "Every time you say a bad word, you look a little excited."
Is that so?
She countered, even as though she flushed a little at the look he was giving her. "It is decidedly so." He leaned a little closer to study her face. He watched her mouth, and then his eyes dropped to her long neck.
So you quote magic 8 balls too, I see.
He said, checking his gaze. They just met, but she got the unnerving feeling of him seeing right through her. Not in the sense of being undressed by his gaze, but more of someone who was just really curious about her. And just her. Not her last name or where she went to school or who her grandfather was. Their orders arrived. One look at the hulking plate of golden brown French fries cooked in rendered duck fat made Consuelo glad that this Sam guy was with her. "Okay, I want to see this historic moment," he said. "I want to witness your very first bite of a hot dog sausage." Looking him squarely in the eye, she took a bite. She may have done it a little too provocatively, and she may have enjoyed the sudden hunger flaring in his own eyes. Somehow it did not seem like he was thinking about his own sandwich right now. But all that was chased away by a sudden party going on in her mouth. The duck sausage was salty and crisp and juicy, and the foie gras was seductively rich and soft. Everything melded together so sinfully, she just had to shut her eyes and gasp. When she opened them, Sam had that maddening smile again. But there was this heat in his eyes, and his teeth raked his bottom lip. "Told you it was that good." She took another bite, savoring it slowly, feeling the stirrings of comfort that only a good meal on a very bad day can bring.
You're absolutely right.
She said, "Stick around with me, gorgeous. I'll never see you wrong." He nudged the fries toward her. She popped one in her mouth and had to stop herself from swooning.
Right again, Sam.
He placed his hand over his heart. "My name on your lips." I can get used to that.
I bet you say that to all the girls.
You probably did, too. But she didn't care. The fries were too good, and the foie gras sausage looked a little lonely and needed her attention. "Come for a walk with me after this and find out for yourself," he said.
Have a French fry.
She answered, pushing one into his mouth. The fighting a giggle where his lips lingered on her finger. They did go for a walk after the meal. The next day, he met her at the ball. They kissed some days after that. And after that, well, she was happy. Then, for a while.